What is up, everybody? It is around 7:30. I just got off work. It's been a long day dealing with a lot of weird people. I was thinking about something earlier, and it's going to tie into what I'm going to talk about next. So just stick with me on this. There was a movie I watched when I was younger. I might have been in high school, I can't remember. And the movie came out in the 80s or early 90s. It was called The Wave. Does anybody remember that movie? It was about a cult. The cult had no meaning whatsoever. The cult had there was nothing in the cult. It was a social experiment that the teacher was doing on the kids to see who would join it and how far they were willing to go for the wave. It had a lot of ideology and symbolism from 1930s Germany, 1940s Germany. A lot of similarities. They had big, meetings, and they had the big signs, and they all rose and did their little spiel or whatever. The wave, oh! But all these kids fell into it. And I can't help but feel that on both sides of the fence, whether you're left or right, there are two cults right now. You're either on the left or you're on the right. The left is so fucked up, I don't even know what they're doing or how they even comprehend life right now. The right, I can see a lot of, I lean more right, obviously, if you want to put it in that sense. But there's a lot of nutcases on the right too, and they have their own little cult going. Left, right, even people that are preppers. There's one big cult, man, and you have to be mindful of that. You have to be aware of how easy it is to fall into these categories and these groups of people. Just because you want to fit in and be in the norm with everybody else. And that's what my friends are doing, and that's what everybody else is doing, and I got to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that. Everybody's watching that show, I got to watch it. You don't have to. You can be your own person. You know this, right? We have free will in this world. Do whatever you want. Just don't fall victim for that kind of stuff. That's all I'm saying. The second part that kind of loosely ties into that is people that say that they're preppers and say that they are prepared for what is going to happen in this country and in the world. Let's be real, it's not just our country, it's the whole world that's going to go through something major, extremely fucked up majorly here soon. Mark my words on that. But there are people that just want to fit in and be like everybody else and do the things that they do, no matter the cost, no matter the struggle, no matter the fights that it causes in their life. They want to be part of that, so that's what they're going to do. But are you truly ready for something like that? Instead of just saying it. That's like somebody that's in the Boy Scouts, and they do like 1 or 2 camping trips, and they're, I'm a hardcore Boy Scout. I'm an Eagle Scout. It's like these kids that went to high school and they did the, the Marine class or whatever, and they're walking around like they're fucking badass Marines. I don't know why. I've seen them. I know people like that. I know people that try to fit in with the badass gangsters, and they're the sweetest people in the world. But they don't want people to know they have a soft side. So they pretend to be that person when they have no idea what that life is about. These people that say they're preppers, a lot of them aren't. And even if you buy shit, are you really prepared? Are you prepared to watch your neighbor starve to death? Are you prepared for your town to go batshit crazy and start shooting each other and going crazy? Are you prepared for any of that? Are you prepared to watch your family die because y'all drank out of a river and you got sick. You got some kind of virus from the river because you didn't learn how to clean the water or something. There's a difference between preparing for life after whatever happens and people that just prepare for just to prepare. You can be a prepper and just prepare to prepare, and that's great and all, but if you don't have those life skills, and if you're not showing your kids those life skills, your preps don't mean shit in the grand scheme of things. It all boils down to bushcraft knowledge, actual survival skills, how to MacGyver stuff. You could have a water filter, you could have a life straw, you could have a Berkey, cool. But what happens when the filter runs out? Or what happens when the power goes out? What happens if you have no more matches to boil your water? Do you know how to make a fire with sticks? Do you know how to do that kind of stuff? And don't sit there and say, yeah, I know how to. I know how to do my nails. Doesn't mean I know actually how to do my nails. I've painted fingernails before, not mine, but other people's. But just because I've done it once or twice, you know, oh yeah, I'm a professional nail person. I've cut my own hair before, doesn't mean I'm a fucking barber. Just because you have the know-how, yeah man, I get 2 sticks and I rub them together and I make a fire. Have you ever practiced it? Have you ever went out bushcrafting and went survival camping for a night or 2? Have you ever done anything like that? Have you ever boiled water, made a filter, you know, used your sock and got some sand and charcoal and actually made a filter just to do it, just to see if you could? People that prep, I got a flashlight, do you have candles? You know what I mean? You might have your water filter, but do you know how to make one? Do you know how to boil it and clean it? How long? These people that buy medical stuff. Yeah, I've got a freaking hospital, you know, in a book bag. Do you know how to do anything with anything in there besides put a Band-Aid on? Do you know how to suture a wound? Do you know how to put stitches in somebody? I was reading this the other day. I didn't even know this, but if you put a tourniquet on somebody and it stays on too long, there is a correct method to take the tourniquet off, or else you can kill the person. I didn't know that, but I continually read and I try to learn as much as I can. There is so much shit to learn, and people are not ready for it. You're not ready for what's about to happen in this country and in the world. You're not. You say you might be. Yeah, I have all the knowledge in these books. I have all the cool stuff that I bought on Amazon. But if you don't apply it and you don't use it, it does you no good. The knowledge does you no good if it sits in a book and it's not in your memory. You know, if you want to field dress a deer and you have a butcher, you know, you have your knives and everything, and you have a book on butchering, are you really going to open up your book while you're butchering a deer to figure out how to do it when all the shit goes down? Do that stuff now, man. We have some time to do it. Whether something happens bad tomorrow or in a year, at least right now, nothing has happened yet that is so bad. And it's not all gonna be all at once. What's happening in the world is a slow boil. Just like the analogy with the frog in a pot. They turn it up a little bit, they turn it up a little bit, they turn it up a little bit, until we're so far gone, there's going to be a huge event to where they say, we have to take your rights from you for your own good. You have to live in these 15-minute cities for your own good. And everybody's going to say, yes, that's a great idea. I'm going to feel so safe with no firearms, living ass cheek to ass cheek with some other random person I don't even know, relying on the government for money, relying on my government for electricity. How good is your government with electricity? If you live in California, I'm sure you know that your government's great with electricity. How many rolling blackouts have y'all had? And brownouts? How many more people are on the grid now that aren't supposed to be? How much more demand is put on our shitty infrastructure? It can barely hang on, literally by a thread right now. Our shit in this country is so out of date with so many extra people on it. I'm surprised the lines are still standing. I honestly am. But are you ready, man? Like, that is the question. Are you ready to deal with this stuff? And don't say yeah if you're not, and if you've never been through anything. Yeah, I have my books and my knowledge and all that. But that doesn't get you anywhere if you don't apply it. If you don't go out and seek knowledge and apply the knowledge. Some people are doing great work, volunteering, doing stuff, getting life experience. That is great, dude. It honestly is. The more experience that you get in life, the better. Anything, doing anything. But these people that just want to turn around and sell you shit, sell you fear, and sell you a product, and get views and clicks just to get paid. What was his name? Chris Green from AMTV. All about the world ending. Buy my Bitcoin. The world's collapsing. This is the end. This is the rapture. Buy my Bitcoin program. Every fucking day. Every day. One day he was all badass. Another day he was a sweetheart talking about religion. The next day he's talking about how the pandemic's going to kill everybody with his mask upside down. We ain't forgot. Everybody that watched that video, we all fucking burned him on that. Had his fucking N95 mask on upside down. Oh my God, this is it. You guys got to, buy my preparedness bullshit, blah, 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 blah. Don't forget to buy my Bitcoin. Dude's a fucking nut job, man. People like him are going to get people killed. People that are just selling shit just to sell it, just to make money, are going to get people killed. Just like these pastors are not saving lives. If you're a Christian and you go to one of these big mega churches, they're not saving you. One of the pastors has a book, The Power of I. Me, I did that. Me, all about me. The words of the Bible don't talk about me and I. They talk about dude up there. He did that, not you. But these fake ass pastors have people so wrapped up in yet another cult that the world's all about them. I can be happy. I can be wealthy. Stop falling into these cults, people. Stop going along with the program just to go along with it. If you want to learn to survive with what's going to happen, and pick your poison on that, honestly. Pick your fucking poison on what's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. We've got everything from nuclear war to giant solar flares to grand solar minimum to aliens invading to yet another pandemic to I couldn't even tell you anymore. My bingo card is so fucking full. I think we've all called bingo 20 times and nobody's won yet. This world is so screwed up and the morals are so twisted. They have everybody under a spell, under some kind of hypnosis, and we are all playing a part of it. We are all in it. Living all this shit going on right now in the world. And what are we doing? What are you doing about it? Going to work, paying your bills, paying the tax man. What can you do? If you don't, you go to jail. The best thing you can do is find a piece of land, build something to live in. I'm not going to tell you what to or what not to do, but as far as I'm concerned, if I built a little old dinky log cabin somewhere and it's a storage shed, I don't see any problems with that. I'm tired of every twist and turn that I do. There's a permit, there's a fee, there's a tax. There's always some kind of fucking person there that you have to pay just to do it. So I'm leaving that. I'm getting away from that as much as possible. I'm pulling my family out of that as much as possible for their own good, for their safety, for their protection. Another thing on the bingo card, been from suspicious observers. That's a hard one to say for me. He talks about polar shifts and how the world's gonna tilt. I don't know, man. That's actually kind of believable. You look at all the graphs that he shows, and you can go to like history websites, and it shows everything that's happened. They do something with the polar ice. They somehow can figure out that it shows that the poles have flipped over and over again. So pretty weird how we can figure that out. But yeah, that's just one more thing to worry about. And if that happens, I mean, how prepared are you for something like that? Half of y'all, shit, not even half of y'all, a lot of y'all, not you individual, but I'm talking about the world in general, are not prepared for it. They're not hard enough. They're not ready. They're not man enough. Most of these fucking people out here can't even hold a job. Do you really think that they're going to take care of their family and do everything they need to do to support them when the world ends? Half of the fucking people live on welfare because they can. They're perfectly fine. Their legs aren't broken. There's nothing wrong with them. But yet they would rather just sit on the couch and smoke weed and live on welfare. But don't worry, baby girl, I got you when the world ends. You can't even buy your fucking son diapers. But you're going to survive the end of the world, sure. You go right on ahead. These people are out of their mind. Whether it's you or not, I don't know. All I'm saying is, prepare yourself. Mostly mentally, prepare yourself. Physical, yeah, too. Get in shape. Work out. Do a little bit of jogging, running, sit-ups, push-ups, do all that. But get your mind mentally prepared to handle some of the most fucked up, atrocious shit you're gonna see. Because there's nothing you can do about it except go through it. And you're either gonna go crazy or you're gonna make it through it. For me, I'm gonna make it through it. One, because I'm pulling out of it right now as much as possible, so when it does happen, I'm not around all that crazy shit. And two, honestly, I've had a lot of weird, dumb, crazy bullshit happen in my life. Really fucked up shit in my life. You know, a couple dead bodies floating down the river. To me, I'm pretty sure I could handle it. I just don't want my kids to go through it because they've never experienced the trauma that I experienced. But yeah, man. Get your job. Hold down your job before you say you can take on the end of the world. Before you can raise food. Get your life squared away. Get your credit squared away. Have a savings squared away before you say you can conquer the end of the world. Before you can take on doomsday, make sure you can handle everyday life as it is right now. And to tell you the truth, we have it out of all of human history, well, this human history, all of our, from like the 1700s, the 1500s, the 1400s, right now in this life, we have it easier than anybody has had it in the last 2,000 years. Now, that whether you want to talk about another civilization that was before us, that was, Atlantis and all that, maybe they had it better, but for us right now, this time period, this is the easiest that it has ever been. And then people still complain about how hard it is. How hard is life? Because you have to get up or you have to go to the store. Or God, I have to fucking order out, man. I don't want to get up and have to open the door and pay somebody. Just food for thought for some people, man. Y'all have a great evening.